If you are looking to make a move to St. Simon's Island and you're looking for a little bit more privacy, then stay tuned. I am going to take you on a full map tour of the north end of St. Simon's Island, and this is where you can find a little bit more privacy while still being on the island. So let's check it out. Hi, I'm Cassie Long with Horizon Realty, and I help individuals and families just like you relocate right here to South Coastal Georgia. So all my information is down in the description box below. I get calls, texts, emails every single day of people moving here. So if that is you, I would love to connect with you. All right, let's turn it over to the map. I did a map tour of St. Simon's Island where I took you around the south end of St. Simon's and then mid-south, mid-north, and then I stopped the video because the rest of the north end is a little bit more residential. It's a little bit more spread out versus the south end where that's where a lot of the tourism is held and that's where the access to all of the beaches are. So I really focused the map tour on that, but now I am going to take you on a map tour of the north end of the island. All right, I've got the map pulled up of St. Simon's Island. So you'll notice when you put in St. Simon's Island, it automatically only highlights this section right here around this red dotted line, and that's pretty much what we explored in that other video, which I will link to that at the end. So be sure to stay tuned till the end if you want to know more about living on this side of St. Simon's Island. We really stayed within this bubble here. I use this line kind of as our cutoff point, but the north end actually goes from here up is about the mid-north end of the island, and then all the way up here is the full north end, and that is really where we're going to explore for this video today. So again, going across Sea Island Road right here, you have Frederica Road, and this is pretty much like the main road of the island, and then right here is Sea Island Road, and that's where we left off on that previous video, like I just mentioned. So that's where we're going to pick up. Let me zoom in just a little bit more. So right here at the intersection of Sea Island Road and Frederica Road is where you have Harris Teeter. So there are only two grocery stores on the island. There is Harris Teeter, which is right here. So if you live on the north end of the island, that will be your grocery store, and that is in a little shopping center. It's got the UPS store, it's got a Bank of America, it's got a couple different shops, little boutiques in here too, which are really cute. And then of course, if you go on Sea Island Road here, that is going to take you to Sea Island Drive, which is Sea Island. And I will link that video here. I do have a video breaking down the different neighborhoods and styles of homes on Sea Island. So I'll link that video here if you're interested in learning more about living on Sea Island. So anyway, that is a private island, so we're not going to explore that and talk about that in today's video. But let's just keep going down Frederica Road. Again, that's just your main road, and once you pass this intersection, you're going to pass another little shopping center that's got the Vine, which is a little garden store, and they do events out there. It's really stinking cute. And then you've got all these little streets back here, and these have homes all throughout here. And as you can see, you've got the marsh coming in through here. So some of they're on either side, you're going to have marsh and intercoastal waterways and rivers and everything running all throughout the island. So there are tons of opportunities for marshfront homes. And I'm not going to highlight every single neighborhood, but as you can see, all these little streets where it breaks off, you're going to have little neighborhoods. So Shore Rush Drive, you've got a neighborhood back here with some homes. All of these over here, Palmetto Street, those are some cute little houses over there too. And then right here, Vitale Living Frederica, you've got a really beautiful senior living home right there. And as you keep going down Frederica Road, you'll notice the change pretty much immediately, that it becomes much more residential. Pretty much just neighborhoods up and down these roads. So you've got Dunbarton Drive. That's a really older established neighborhood, and so is St. Clair gorgeous, really beautiful neighborhood. And that's just a big circle right there. And then over here to your right, most of the north end, you know, before we get to the north, this is still kind of mid-north. So over here to the right, you have Sea Palms Resort. So this is a little bit of multi-purpose. So they do have the opportunity to live at Sea Palms. You can also rent out places at Sea Palms. It's a great place for an investment home here at Sea Palms, but it is very residential as well. So it's not all of it is just come and go rentals. But you've got of course, the golf course, and then they have a really good dining restaurant there, Sago, SAGO at Sea Palms, and they do a good job of doing events, you know, around the holidays. They'll do like an Easter brunch, Mother's Day brunch, things like that, and it is open to the public. You have the golf course where you have to have a membership and, you know, pay for all of that, but as far as the restaurant, you can just come and go and get into Sea Palms, and it's really beautiful. And Sea Palms is large. It's a very large community. You'll see as we keep going down Frederica Road that there's some more Sea Palms communities. So if we keep going down, you're going to run into just some more little pocket neighborhoods where it's just off the road and then kind of set back a little bit is where the houses will be. And again, some of these have the opportunity to be marshfront. So like Abbott Lane, there's a couple homes up and down here. There's one listed right now for sale, like 2.1 million. Gorgeous. If you're looking for a larger home, you can find some right around here with the opportunity to build a dock and have that marshfront view. And then as we keep going down, Deer Run Villas, that's another big one. You've got a little bit more Sea Palms over here. Benny's Red Barn, it's a staple, of course. So if you're visiting St. Simon's Island, be sure to go to Benny's Red Barn. They always have live music. Delicious food, of course. And then past Benny's Red Barn, if you go down South Harrington Road, that's going to give you kind of a variety of homes down South Harrington. You've got South Harrington Park, and then you've got some older established homes, and then you also have some new construction homes happening on South Harrington. There's a really cute pocket of new construction homes that I actually toured the other week. They were in like the $900 to $1 million range. See if I can zoom in. You can see all of these squares. These are just houses, okay? Anyway, they were like $900 to like $1.2 million range, and the quality of construction was amazing. So if you're interested in learning more about that, definitely reach out. But anyway, the more you go down, some of these are gated, some of them are not, like Sunrise Drive. That's a little gated community, very nice homes. They're all, you know, built up. So if you like that style of garage on the bottom and then tall homes, like 2-3 story, you can find that here. And then if you keep going down, this is all like marsh, wetlands pretty much, so not really building through here, but it goes all the way down and it ends at what is called Village Creek Landing. So you actually have a boat launch right here, a public boat ramp. It's very small, but you can let in, if you want to let in a kayak or canoe, paddleboard, just beware of the alligators. But you can let in right there, and I think it can still handle a pretty decent sized boat. And like I said, it is a public, we don't have very many public ones on the island that you don't have to pay for. So, and then also at Village Creek Landing, it's an event venue. It's gorgeous. It's got the marshfront views, and they have live music out there. You can rent it out, weddings, etc. They'll do like food trucks and, you know, fun stuff like that. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going back to Frederica Road. And again, I said I'm not going to go down every single road, but it's kind of hard not to because there's so many great places on the island with beautiful homes. So if you keep going down Frederica Road, then you have North Harrington, very similar. You've got some neighborhoods up and down, really gorgeous. And then obviously as you get further down, that's where you have the opportunity for the marshfront views. And same with, I mean, if you're looking at the map, just like me, you can tell which way you would need to go to have marshfront views. So, and then when you get to the end of Frederica, you've got a roundabout where it goes right here. You can either go right and go onto Lawrence Road, or you can stay, go all the way around and go left, and Frederica Road continues. If you go left, we'll just go left first. If you go left, that is going to be where Oglethorpe Point Elementary School is. So if you break down St. Simon's Island, there are 2 elementary schools on the island. Oglethorpe Point serves the north end and kind of like mid-north. And then all the way down at the bottom is going to be St. Simon's Elementary, and that serves the south end and kind of mid-south. So if you want to see that breakdown, I keep saying north end, mid-north, you know, if you want to see that breakdown, you can head over to my original video where I talk about the south end and all of that, and I kind of break it down piece by piece on the map, because that's how the MLS is broken down. So if you're searching for homes with your realtor, aka me, then you'll see that designation, that location on there, and it'll just help you better understand what that means. So you've got Marsh's Edge over here, and that is a little bit of a retirement community. I think they do have a 55 and up community. And then of course it's more like rental styles, but I do think they have the opportunity to own. And then they have some amenities and things like that. So anywho, keep going. We'll go past the Oglethorpe Point Elementary, and you keep going, and as you can see, it's not as grown up over here. Like even just looking up at the map, you can tell. So there's no stores or anything. Once you get to this roundabout, there are no stores, no nothing. So it's a little piece of country on the island. So if you keep going down Frederica Road, you're going to get to, if you see where it says Commons Road and all of that, that is the Commons at Frederica, and that's a really great neighborhood. You can look at, I don't know, minimum 700,000 to get into that neighborhood. But if you drive around that neighborhood, you're going to see tons of kids, really great Halloween neighborhood, golf carts, driving all around. So if you keep going down Frederica Road, you're going to see Christ Church, really beautiful. You definitely need to check that out. And then if you keep going down, it's going to end at Fort Frederica, which is really a cool place. Out about Pikes Place. So if we were to go left, like I just took you, that ends at West Point, and that is another gated community. You're looking at a pretty hefty price tag with West Point. You know, looking at 1-2 million or so. But then when we come back down that, if we would have gone right on this roundabout here, you'll see right across from you is the stables at Frederica. Gorgeous. Obviously it's a you know, you can do horseback riding lessons, everything like that there. If you have a horse, great place to keep your horse, do the boarding. And then this is where it turns into Lawrence Road. So if you go down Lawrence Road, you're going to have a long drive of not much, which is really beautiful and really just unheard of on the island. This is really the only place you're going to see on the island where it's not developed per se. So if you keep going down Lawrence Road, you've got Pikes Bluff Drive. There are some homes down there, not a ton. You probably saw it when we were on the Pikes Bluff Drive. Is really just a big loop, and if you keep going down Lawrence Road, you're going to see some plantations, a lot of private homes, long drives, just private homes. And then you have Frederica Park. So if you live on the north end of the island, Frederica Park is going to become your best friend. They've got sports fields. I think they have like disc golf. They have all sorts of things at Frederica Park. It's beautiful. And then they also have a walking trail that has fairy garden houses throughout the walking trail. So super fun, super cute for kids. The bugs are horrendous, but it's beautiful. So keep that in mind. If you keep going down, you'll see you've got Forbes Farm, beautiful. And then you've got some side off roads, and there are private homes throughout there, but still not a ton of neighborhoods. You've got the farm at Oatland North, and this is Cannon Point Road. So this is going to take you down Cannon's Point preserve, excuse me. So this is a nature preserve, and it's, I can't remember, it's maybe like 16 acres of just natural marsh and wetlands, and just, you know, really preserving that natural beauty of the island. So you can go out there and check that out. They've got an observation deck, great for bird watching and all that fun stuff. And then if you keep going, Lawrence Road turns into Hampton Point Drive. So then as you start to get about here is where you start to see it become a little bit more residential, where homes are. And I should say, before you even get to Hampton Point Drive, there are spots up and down Lawrence where they are clearing out for some new construction neighborhoods. They're going to be relatively small, and the homes will be a little bit closer together, but those are coming soon. So if you want more information on the new construction homes coming to the north end of the island, give me a call or drop a comment below. Before I get all the way over to Hampton Point, we will talk about Frederica Golf Club, because that's over here to the left. Frederica Golf Club is private, so unlike SIMONS, you can't just go and, you know, eat at the restaurant or anything. You have to be a member. And then those homes as well, it's pretty hefty price tag to live in Frederica Golf Club. Gorgeous homes, expensive. So there's that's Frederica Golf Club. Okay, so now once you get to Hampton Point Drive, you're going to keep going down, and then you're going to have homes all up and down here. Hampton Point, Rice Mill, all of these are going to be homes. Some of them, you'll see Jones Creek runs through here, so some of them are marsh facing. There we go. If I zoom in now, you can really see the amount of homes that are up and down these roads, and really, really beautiful. Let's keep going. So this is where you're going to get a little bit more of that privacy, like I mentioned. So some of these are going to be half-acre lots. Some of them are going to be a full acre. And yeah, I showed a house over here on Hampton Point Drive the other day. So just so that you can understand what style of homes are here. And it was, I want to say like 6 to 8 bedrooms. I can't quite remember, but it was over 6,000 square feet. It was 1.8 million. But it was on an acre, and that's really hard to find. It had a pool. It was not directly on the marsh, so that was kind of the deciding factor. So across the street would be marsh facing, and that's what really drives those prices up. On the other side of the road, closer into the 3s, maybe even all the way up to the 4s, depending on the home, is that marsh facing view, because, you know, land is not unlimited on our island, and neither are the views. So being on the other side of Hampton Point, you know, that price point was 1.8, but that's a 6,000 square foot house on an acre. So that's hard to come by on the island, honestly. I get a lot of clients that want, you know, even if they're looking for half an acre, they have to look on the north end, because it's very, very hard to find on the south end of the island, which a lot of people want to be on the south end of the island, because the north end is beautiful and more residential, but it is further away. You start looking at the commute time, and if you're working in Brunswick, or, you know, if you have kids, you have the elementary school right there, but the middle school and high school are in Brunswick, and you've got to go all the way back down into the island, and then all the way over the causeway into Brunswick. So even if they're bus riders, that's a long bus ride. You know, if you're dropping them off in the morning and picking them up in the afternoon and taking them to sports, it just becomes a lot. So you have to really think about all of these things and understand, you know, if you're moving from a larger city and you're used to driving an hour or sitting in traffic, that's the pro to it, is you're not sitting in traffic. It's a beautiful drive. But it is a longer commute time. So just keep that in mind. Okay, back to the map. So if you keep going down Hampton Point Drive, you are then going to come to a gated community called Hampton Plantation. And Hampton Plantation is a golf course community. You've got the King and Prince Golf Club right here, kind of in the middle. And then, like I said, it's a gated community, and you've got a couple different styles of homes within that community. It's a really active community. You know, they have tons of events, but you can be as active in that community or not as active as you want. So it is not a required membership. That doesn't mean that you don't have an HOA that comes along with it. That just means you don't have to be a member of the club. So there's, like, you know, the club with all the social events. There's, the gym and the pool and all of these things, and they have a bunch of different packages. So if you're interested in learning more, I could get you the details on all of it, but you don't have to join everything. Like Frederica Golf Club, you pretty much have to be all in. But Hampton Plantation, you can pick and choose a little bit more. And then from Hampton Plantation, it pretty much ends into the Hampton River Marina. So if you live on the north end, the Hampton River Marina is where you're going to let in. If you have a boat, you can keep your boat there if you don't have storage within your own community or at your house. I will say the wait list is quite long usually. But you can pay to put your, launch your boat in there. And that's also where, if you're going to Little St. Simon's Island, they usually leave from there. So if I show you on the map, Little St. Simon's, that's all through here. All right, so that is the north end of the island. Again, if you want to know more about the south end of St. Simon's Island, if you're looking for an investment opportunity, you're definitely going to want to be down there. So I'll link that video right here. Be sure to watch that. Again, I get calls, texts, emails every single day of people looking to relocate right here to St. Simon's Island or the surrounding areas. We've got Brunswick, we've got Kingsland, we've got St. Mary's, we've got tons of different options down here in coastal Georgia that you are sure to love. So be sure to reach out, subscribe, do all the things, and I'll talk to you soon.